Guys, we are doing another Dirt to Deity episode, this time featuring Mike Monkey, the legend from the chat. You guys know him, you guys love him. So we're going to be watching over some Hun Batz gameplay, it would appear today, and trying to give you guys some pointers, specifically Mike, so that you can be grinding ranked and climb those ranks. But of course, a lot of this stuff should apply to all of you guys. It should help you out. So we're going to watch over this game, see what's going down, see what went wrong, what went right, and how we can improve. So it's pretty funny that it's Mike Monkey and he's playing the monkey. It looks like he did choose the aspects, which is what you should be doing right now all the time because the aspect is very broken. It's much better than base Hun Batz. Yeah, we'll go ahead and watch this. I assume he's playing jungle. I think he is. Just looking right away, we're up against an Afro Fenrir, a Medusa, Mordred, Poseidon. So looking at that, Afro is like the clear standout. You know, she's going to be giving a lot of safety to her team and kind of immuning a lot of Hun Batz ults throughout the game. So we're going to have to be careful with our engages. We're going to have to be wary of them Afro ulting and maybe turning on us. So we're going to have to, we can't always all in. They have good turn potential because of that, especially with Krakens and stuff like that. If they're linked together, Medusa damage. Also Fenrir ulting us into them, especially if we go combat blink, which is what I think we should do always, basically in the jungle. Basically always go combat blink. Something we got to keep in mind just looking at the comps. It's hard to play dive characters such as Hun Batz in ranked into super safe characters like Afro, so something to keep in mind. Of course, Hun Batz is pretty versatile. He can ult the front line into his team, so if they have a Mordred over diving, Mike can just play in the back line and ult the Hun Batz, or Hun Batz ult the Mordred towards his team. They can kill the front line and play the fights from there. And also just looking at his own comp, they do kind of have a death ball comp with Baron, Khepri. That's something you kind of want to just be grouped on because they have a lot of utility when it comes to helping each other out, whereas in just like a 1v1 or like little 2v2s, they're not going to be as strong. But yeah, usually when you get into a game, you kind of just want to take a look at the comps, kind of get an idea of what's going to happen in the game, who's early game, who's late game. This left side comp, kind of a mixture, honestly. I'd consider Khepri, Baron more of a mid to late these days, but Khepri can have some good lane pressure, and Izanami is obviously very early game oriented. As far as like wave pressure and stuff, but just a little bit of mix kind of between both teams. So nothing too crazy there, but we'll go ahead and start it. Of course, there's always a lot of things that you should be thinking about as you go into the game. And as you get super comfortable on characters, a lot of that stuff will just come naturally. Like if you play 100 Hun Batz games, then you kind of know every single thing that they can throw at you, you know? It's a good start though. I like picking up the Baron's Brew, at least for the early game. It can help with clear. The throwable is pretty nice and it's good sustain. But yeah, definitely go Boomba's Cudgel on Hun Batz. Let's see if I can get this thing off the screen so we can see the items and such. There we go. Definitely want to be going Cudgel. The Cudgel that gives you auto attack cancel resets. Very, very good on Hun Batz. It's fine to start your 3 on Hun. I personally still like going the 2 first, even though it's a little bit less damage for the clear because it allows you at level 2 to have your jump and your 2, which can let you play super aggressive. Of course, 3 is also good for that kind of scenario, but 1's just a little bit more versatile because you can use it to jump slow them, to chase down kills, and to chase people out, or jump out if you need to. So that's the only reason I like getting the 2 first on Hun Batz. Some nice positivity from Michael. You love to see it. LFG team. Baron's getting into it as well. So looks like we're going to be starting speed side. It's a fine start to do. I personally prefer right now as a jungler to start blue with my solo laner. It allows them to get to lane first, and then I can go straight to red. I can grab the red, and then I can have that red buff for the mid camp fight, which is super strong. Okay, Mike. But then you also allow your mid laner to hit level 2 right after the first wave because you do blue, you do red, and then you do this little ward camp. I think that's the best start right now for the jungler. And honestly, for everyone. Gives solo pressure, gives mid pressure because you get level 2. The only downside is if they invade your speed buff. That can be the one downside to it if the support goes to your speed because you're not there. But I think that is the start you should probably be doing in the jungle right now. But it's not the end of the world. This isn't too bad. It kind of depends on what the enemy jungler does. Like if you lose pressure from doing this start and they get the mid camp because the jungler is aware, then of course it's bad. But a lot of times it will go unpunished. Definitely want to save our 3 there because it only needs 1 more auto. Now it's going to slow down this camp clear here by a lot. So definitely don't want to be wasting abilities when they barely have any HP. See, now this is a lot slower. We'd already probably be cleared like right now, heading into mid. And this is important because we're already at 1 minute, which means the mid camp has spawned. So if they did the other start, the jungler would already be on this mid camp. Like when I do this start, I'm hitting this at the 1 minute mark. So we also forgot to buy a relic, which is that's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's definitely important to have a relic early game, but sometimes we make mistakes. I've done it in scrims, plenty of scrims. Good awareness on the gank here with the stun. Nice job. Well played. The criminal thing is the Fender didn't punish you because he did the same start and went left for some reason. But all of this jungle is up, and you want to have this mid camp done literally at minute 1. The only sad part about looking for that gank is that there's so much jungle up that it just slows down the game. But it's all good. Fender's going to get out with his blink. Could have played that a little bit mechanically better. I'll show you how, but I'll just go back real quick. Good stun. Just wait with the 3. Because you hit him with it, and then it bounced back to the minion. You could have just waited until he was out of range of the harpy, and then maybe hit him with it, and then you could have TP'd, but still pretty hard. Still pretty difficult. And it was still a good gank in mid. That's something you notice about this Smite 2 map is there's so much farm on the map that if you spend a lot of time ganking, you're going to get behind. So ganking again here, probably not the play. Look at all the jungle that's up on the map. We got mid camp, we got red, we got all this, we got all that. So usually you want to maybe look for a gank, then go into the jungle, clear a bunch of jungle, and look for another gank. Kind of look for the gank in the path that you're going for anyway. Which wasn't too bad there because you're going towards the speed buff, so that's nice. Definitely want to be grabbing that though. Just reset your speed buff timer. It's down to 36 seconds. And that it's more important for you to have it because you're gonna be roaming around the map. If the Izanami takes it, she's literally just gonna be sitting in mid lane clearing waves. So I usually take the first red buff as well as the jungler. Just a little bit better on you early game. You're gonna be doing more with it, like I said, because she's just clearing waves. You're actually clearing camps and ganking people. So, but good efficient jungle farming here. This is fine. Yeah, you could even get the level 1 because you want to have your 1 and your 2, like I said. So it's possible. Everything's good. This red buff would help you speed up this clear a little bit. If you're going to pull these back to this harpy anyway, you might as well group them both up. And because you still had some leash range there. You just and you can just pull this camp by 2ing these harpies, getting in range and 2ing it and making it come to you. Making it be a little bit more efficient. If you don't notice or haven't seen it, guys, the pull range, this is the range, this little white bar. So you still have like a good bit of time or a good bit of a distance left before these harpies will run away from you. So you could easily pull it here, but this applies anywhere when you're pulling these harpies. That little white leash range, it also applies to the Naga Assault harpy thing. You know, the little roaming objective on the map. Yeah, the white bar shows you the distance. So you still had a little bit of distance there to bring them. Yeah, good play to just place your ward there. I know it's not ideal. I do that all the time, though. Just waste the ward and grab the UAV because the UAV is more important. Ideally, you can just back and sell the ward to get a little more extra gold, or you know, honestly, ideally, you just place the ward and grab the UAV because it's kind of a waste of time to run up the map and place the ward when you should be just farming your jungle efficiently. So we're really close to level 5 here. Jungle path goes straight to these backs and then look for a gank and duo because we have a power play. Good use of the UAV. Now you know the jungler's in mid, so now you guys have a really clear power play in left here once you hit level 5. So hopefully that's what we look for. Still haven't got our relic though. Not good. Good VGS, calling that out to your team so they can play around it. I love to see that. That'll help you win ranked games as well. Just quick ult here probably. I like setting up the ult with the 2 though. That's also fine. Nice try. You had the right idea to follow the Medusa dash with the TP. Nice try with the Baron's Brew. All good. Force her blink. That's huge. 240-second cooldown. If you really want, you can call that out. That's 4 minutes, so it was used at 4:11. 8:11 is when that combat blink will be back up. So you have 4 minutes to make a play on that. Really good awareness here to have the purple. You know the purple is up because your purple's up, and these first respawns are always at the same time, unless they do a weird start. Medusa does a lot of damage with her 1, so we can't be eating that. It's sad that your team didn't come to help you. If they just invaded with you, that would have been good. But once we were like invading and see them not there on the map, we need to constantly be looking at the map. It's almost like I literally look at the map like probably 60 or 70% of the time. So if we're looking at the map there and see that they're not with us, we're not trying to fight that. We're just going to jump away right away once the Fender is there. We're just going to try and get out. Now they get your purple in turn which sucks, and you get caught by the Medusa. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a lazy back. Definitely sucks. Maybe trying to be a little bit aware of it since they were at the purple and you heard them. Just kind of going towards the left side of the tower instead of being close to where they can enter from the jungle or from the lane. But yeah, it does suck. The correct play by your team was to help you on that purple, especially the Khepri. They're already here. It's fine for the Honor to grab the wave because he does have a full wave. The Khepri should at least help you, but once we're looking at the map, which we should be constantly doing in Smite, once we see that they're not here and we see the defender jump over the wall, we just need to jump away. It's just a numbers game. Simple maths. We just need to be jumping away. We could have even gone for the steal and then jumped away. But now, once we're fighting into the Medusa one, it's just not going to happen. I'm assuming you just thought they would be there because it was the right play, but got to be constantly looking at that map. So we did get first blood and got a kill in duo, so we were in a pretty good spot, but dying there definitely was rough for us. The good news is, like I said, early kills aren't that big of a deal because there's so much farm up on the map. You're going to respawn here and come out of base and have, look at all this jungle you can do. Boom, boom, boom. Unless the Fenrir invaded it, which is a possible thing. It could have happened. But it would have been a heads-up play by him. But just get all this jungle on cooldown, grab our speed so we can start roaming around. That is rough. So a good heads-up play by them, and that is the downside to that invade going wrong. This is why you want to be pretty selfish and ranked. Because you're the ones making the plays on the map right now, and even though you kind of got costed by your teammates, if you just been aware and looking at the map, none of this would happen, and you'd be level 6, probably almost halfway to level 7 right now. You saw that Fenrir on the map go to mid. His Nami's just going to die. You probably could have helped, because you have the stun on the 2. But I also don't mind counter-invading here, because this shit should be up. Nice. Good awareness. That was good by you, Mike. But yeah, you need to play a lot more selfishly in ranked. Especially once you're like really confident in your abilities. I mean, you've made all the plays on the map right now, and you helped out your teammates, but they didn't really help you, you know? And it's selfish for a good reason. You're still gonna be helping your team, but you're helping them by not getting behind. And carrying. I like this though, to repeat gank left. Gotta be wary of Afro ult, so we're gonna have to be careful all-inning into that. Teammates are playing back right now. You need to make it less obvious until they get there. The Afro just refused to ult, okay. Oh, that's too bad that it bounced to that camp. Not going to get there in time. Just slow it down a little bit. Just keep looking at the map in these scenarios. It ends up working out because the Afro just refused to ult the Hun Batz ult. But like right here, you see your dual lane's a little bit far away. Let them pull that camp. Let your teammates get a little bit closer. Then you can walk into the lane. And you're also showing on the minions right now. So they're going to see either way. But you just want to slow it down a little bit until your dual lane gets a little bit closer. Because it's very possible they just Afro and Medusa dashes away and they live, you know? At least good players would have done that. So. But still good gank. And definitely W awareness coming back here when they're playing far up. The easiest lanes to gank are the lanes where the enemies have pressure because they're going to be farther up in the lane. So you can definitely help out lanes that way. But it's not always your job to help out the losing lanes. Usually you want to play through the lanes that actually have potential and are already winning. Because you can get them further ahead. And it's easier to win fights around them. Because if the enemies fight into you and they have a lead, well, they're fighting into a lead. They're fighting into an advantage. So, but yeah. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's keep clearing our jungle. Like I said, we don't want to just purely look for ganks in the jungle, guys. There's so much farm on the map. We want to look for the ganks in the clear path of the jungle that we're already going to do. Hun Batz's early gank is actually really good now, even without his ult, because of the stun on his aspect, for the time being at least. They'll probably get nerfed. Fenrir is just pushing the tier 1 solo tower, which takes a while, so you should be looking for things to do, maybe a counter invade, while he's just spending time pushing a tower. You always want to be punishing people for committing to like clear plays or things that take a while. Let's say it's an objective on the left side of the map. You guys look for an objective on the right side of the map if you can't fight it. If they're ganking duo and you're not nearby, try and gank solo because you're going to have a numbers advantage there. So just kind of always be playing the numbers game and counter play game. I don't mind looking for this because the mid-red buff is coming up. Fenrir is going to your speed, though, and you see it on the map. I don't think you saw it, though. This is why you constantly need to be looking at the map. Definitely stare at the map more. You're not I mean, you're just sitting idle here anyway, and you're going to see the Poseidon on the map anyway when you try and look for the gank, so you might as well be looking at the map. You would have seen this Fenrir. You would have seen that he was going to speed, and you probably could have gone to it, but the most we're going to get there usually is just beads, so we don't want to use our combat blink for it because that's a 240-second cooldown for a 140-second cooldown. We do get the red off it, which is good, but we could have just as easily walked up into this guy here or jumped in and then saved our combat blink. Combat blink is a pretty hot commodity, you know, so you don't want to use it when you don't need to. But we do get the red off it. Sadly, Fenrir will get your speed, which sucks for you. It's, he's stealing your farm. But it's possible that you could even look for his speed again. See that Fenrir went mid here. You might be able to help. You have the stun for Brutalize if you can get there in time. It's too bad. That's fine, though. Definitely want to clear mid here now that Izanami's dead. Gotta be careful of a Fenrir ult here. We have no beads. I like standing your ground, though. But we gotta be careful of that. And he's still gonna reach us. Fenrir ult goes pretty far. He didn't chase you, though. Speed is down. We just now are really realizing that because we weren't looking at the map when it happened. Stare at the map, guys. We need to be looking at the map more. Especially because, Mike, you're at a point, like, you're not, like, brand new, obvious. You could tell. You know what you're doing, like, with your abilities and stuff like that, and where you're running around on the map. Like, especially when you're just idling and not doing much, always be looking at the map. It would have bought us a lot of information there. We probably could have even gone to the speed buff. Gonna be sketchy to go for now. We're already half HP. No ult, no blink. Walking into the jungle is gonna be pretty rough here. He's already on it. He could easily solo you here. It should always be done even before you get here just because it was a long time ago when it spawned. Okay, let's see. Let's see. The Fenrir missed his jump. You're actually gonna outplay him here. Ult, 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 ult. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, nice try. I mean, it's hard. In those kind of situations that can be kind of tense and stressful, but our ult was up. Our ult was up. We could have outplayed him. But I like the awareness. I like that you're going for it, and the confidence was there, which I always appreciate. But we learned from that, you know? Like, maybe if we just took a quick glance down, try not to or panic in those type of situations. I think probably you're too worried about your health bar. If you just take a quick look down, you've probably seen your ult cooldown come up, or at least coming up. You could be spamming it, because you know that's the only way you're going to win the fight in that scenario. Did not mean to click that. Was that? Okay, yeah. We're still in the same spot, so... Yeah, I could have also jumped to Brutalize, but we did stun it, so it's not that big of a deal. It was close. It made it a little bit closer, but we still would have outplayed him if we just took a peek seize at our ult cooldown and spammed that. All good, though. I like it. I like the confidence. And you almost won that fight at 50% a level down. Yep, just throw that bad boy on the ground. That's fine. This is what you should be doing, chat, in the jungle. If you hadn't already placed the ward, ideally you're already up there, like right there. We could have placed the ward somewhere in their jungle. Normal wards are usually really good to ward buffs or like little crevices where they're not going to likely be dewarded, just to give you a little bit of extra information. So like, could throw a ward here, throw it here, so you see when the jungler is going to duo. Same thing solo side. So you could throw them up there, but yeah, if you don't end up throwing it up, just throw it on the ground and grab the UAV because that's much more important. See, like just now we UAV'd and we see that the Fenrir is on these back camps. He's the most likely person on these backs. In general, anyway, it doesn't really matter. Just 3 people dueling, so they're playing strong side on duo right now. So you're dueling, should know to play back and be careful for now. And then maybe you, like that you're doing right now, which is I think hopefully intentional, you're ganking right because the Fenrir was left. Now you can't take the TP, but try and block this. So you cannot interrupt Mordred ult, charged ult with any CC. It's CC immune. That was a lot closer than it needed to be because all we need to do here is get in front of the Mordred ult and then wait and ult him after. We also, most of the time, especially on Hun Batz, you just want to CC chain people on ganks. It's so loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. You want to CC chain people on ganks, so it's actually pretty easy to do now that you have Hun Batz stun on his too. So you just want to stun off this Baron ult, get him stunned, and then now he's stunned, auto cancel into your ult. He'll get CC chained, And then if we just auto cancel our 3 and then our 2 again, he's going to be dead. And of course, we're going to try and stand in front of Mordredal. It's sort of like a Donzel in that way. You just want to get in front of it. But he ends up doing a lot of damage. If Fender did TP here and come behind you guys, he could have maybe turned the gank. So yeah, we want to try to CC chain people on ganks. Oh, have you guys not been able to hear the audio the whole time? My bad. Oh, dude. I didn't realize that you guys couldn't hear the whole time. That's kind of sad. My bad. I know now you can. Sorry. I mean, only time it really mattered was when the when we heard the audio cues on the people on the purple buff, like I said. But still would have been nice to have. My bad. Like you said something earlier? Okay, that was my bad. Anyway, let's see here. We're coming out of base. Whenever we walk out of base, in any role, but definitely in the jungle, we need to be staring at the map, seeing what path we're going to go down to clear jungle, and where we're going to gank likely because of that. So that's what we're doing, hopefully, here. Going straight to these backs that are up. We have our speed on the ground. Somebody dropped it, so we need to be looking at that to make sure we can go grab it. We saw Fender drop go across this ward right here. I think we saw it that time. Maybe we didn't, but... For example, remember how we used our blink earlier when we didn't need to? It's still down. We would have had it here for this chase, where we actually needed it to chase these two players down who are low HP. So that's where resource management is a little bit more important. And a lot of times in fights or throughout a game, you don't really want to be using things when you don't need to. You want to save them for when you actually need them, of course. So good job. This should just be a kill. W. Huge shutdown, by the way. Huge, huge. Especially on your own like lane or role opponent. So good job. We see that speed's coming up. Hopefully, yeah, we're staring at the map. W looking at the map. Getting all this jungle in the meantime. Good counter drawing while the enemy Fender is dead. You're super safe here. Your ult's up. You have your blink if you need it. Huge. You've gotten revenge on this Fender, Mike. I have Red Dead to finish for you, and we were gonna start a Resident Evil playthrough tonight. The tournament went really late. Speed's on cooldown. Just wait. Yeah, be patient. You want to be patient on these ganks until they show up, until they make a misplay. There they are. You want to go around here. Good pathing. Good pathing.
Chikawaga.
I actually like using the 2 right away right now, but you want to wait. Even though it ends up working out, probably. Ah, yikes. I'll explain here in a second. I like what you're doing now, though. Play with your team. You can still hit these guys. Then you're completing the speed rise. Nice pull. You can help him out here. You can help. Oh. Definitely could help your Kefri. And then committing after he's dead is not the play. If you help him out during the pull, you can definitely kill this guy in the middle of the pull. He's tanking the autos anyway for you from Medusa. They also healed from leveling up. So that's part of the reason they're healthier. Definitely be a little bit more aggressive here. DMJ, thanks for the 6 months. You're welcome back to the Ponzo family. Appreciate that. Of course, I mean, this is not something that you're like, just being aggressive in that situation isn't going to help you out in all scenarios, right? But something that can help you out in all scenarios is when you walk into here, what's going to happen once you play against like decent players is you just need to hit them. They're already stunned. You don't need to go straight into your ult. You just need to wait. They're either going to panic after ult or they're not going to ult, and then you can just spam damage here. But if you go straight from your 2 into your ult, they're just going to after ult it and probably walk away. But instead, they take a while and you get a lot of damage off. But you can just, basically, whenever somebody's already CC'd, try and get as much damage off as possible, and then you can apply the next CC. But just going straight from your stun into your ult, you're losing a good bit of DPS, you know what I mean? But I like using the 2 when you gank, because it's just going to stun them and maybe force them to panic ult or do whatever. But, again, probably could have been more confident in that fight and just committed to it. I don't mind going full damage on Hun Batz, but I think the best build right now, instead of going Brawlers 3rd, you probably have to... It's kind of sketchy because you need, or rough because you need to get anti-heal for Afro. But I think you should go the Void Shield, Binding, Screeching build with Jotuns and Hydras. But I think full damage is fine as well. I just think the tank build's a little bit stronger and makes a little bit more sense for the aspects. So you can get lots and lots of 2s off in team fights. You'll get more 2s off because you're harder to kill. And harder to lock down. You have a lot of CDR. He didn't help me earlier, so no help? Yeah, but it's not about helping him. You ended up dying anyway, right, Mike? It's about helping yourself because you get a kill there and you'll get more fed and you'll carry more games. You're not doing it to help people. You're not playing any game to help. I mean, you can play that way, but when you're trying to grind ranked, you have to be selfish and you know, carry games basically. Get good enough to carry games. Oh, nice, Bria. That sounds kind of funny. We hear him on gold here. That's good. Good telling, let your teammates know. See, this is what they should do. We use a lot of our damage into the app roll. A lot of our important cooldowns. Oh, is that the sensitivity? You did a full 360. Oh my gosh, what sensitivity do you play on, Mike? There's been a bunch of hybrid jungle metas already in Smite 2. Or bruiser metas. Before he even started playing it. Truth Twitch. But that's what I was talking about when it comes to like mechanic, like. See, we use both of our CCs right on top of each other. So when we use our CC, we want to use all of our regular abilities or other autos to get damage off while they're already CC'd. So like right here, again, the Afro is just super slow to ult, but she should just be ulting that. Then both of our CCs are down, and then we're in a rough spot. If we just wait and ult him and auto him and click our 3 on him, he's already going to be half HP. Then he's going to get Afro ulted because this guy's delayed for some reason. And then we can 2 after and stun him. Like, this is what I said at the beginning of the game when we loaded in. We knew we were against Afro. We don't want to full commit off of our ults because they're going to Afro ult it. And then a lot of our stuff is going to be on cooldown. So it is already applying in this game. It was a good job of you to defend the gold, though, and to call it out. I love the communication. Communication can be the difference maker for your teammates. This is just a clown fiesta to Gold Fury now, though. And they ended up getting it. not the ellipses, Mike. What did that do? I understand. It's definitely frustrating, but you gotta keep the mental in check. You're gonna win more games in the long run if you don't type your teammates like that. Especially because if they're just nice guys and they're just playing bad, if they see their teammate type in ellipses, they're thinking, oh, this guy thinks I suck probably, and their confidence goes down. You know what I mean? Don't do it. Don't type. Did he suck? Maybe you suck too then. You can. I've already seen plenty of things in this game that you could have done to carry this game. Just saying. They may not be helping you as much as they should, but you can carry this game easily. But Mike, you're back. That's fucked up. All right, everybody relax. No typing. Don't type to your teammates unless they want help. Trust me. Like if you're trying to grind ranked, if you're trying to climb ranked, like the whole point of this series, literally just focus on yourself and improve and be positive, and you will get better and you will climb ranked. That's the problem. That's why everybody's stuck in bronze. That's why everybody's stuck in gold. They're so focused about their teammates. They're always willing to blame their teammates.
An ally has been slain. Your middle tower is under attack. Rampage.
Oh, nice try on the ult. Hun Batz ult. This is just an easy kill. Good job blocking the ult. Oh, maybe not easy. Gotta be careful. We might need to blink away here. We're gonna start with our jump. Then we blink away if we need to. Nice try. You got this side of whirlpool. It's still the right play to jump and then blink. Just unlucky that the Poseidon's there. We don't have any wards or anything. Anybody's VGSing or communicating, so it's gonna be a little bit hard. Maybe if we look at the map a little bit, but We are able to get the mid-tier ones, so not the end of the world. But yeah, with Hun Batz ult, you want to be trying to place it. The little... This goes... You probably know this, Mike, but this just goes to anybody out there in the game watching this trying to learn Hun Batz. You want to be placing the ult, the center of the ult, on the opposite side of the person. You want to place it on the opposite side of the direction that you want them to go as well. So the center should be in front of him, so we should place it around here. And if we place it around here, he'll be feared back to us. And if he's feared back to us, we can push him out of the tower, get him in a better advantageous spot for us. And yeah, probably just, you know, not necessarily a knowledge diff, but a mechanic diff there, pushing him into the tower. But yeah. Ripster, thanks for the 7 months. You welcome back to the Fonzo family. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you.
Your right tower is under
Yeah, as I was saying, that's the reason a majority of the people can't get out of Amber, or can't get out of Bronze, or can't get out of Gold, is because the majority of people are willing to blame their teammates and not accept that they could also be doing more, and they could be playing better, and they could carry games. That they probably think, oh, I shouldn't be expected to carry this game, but that's the whole point of rank. The whole point of making it to Masters and Grandmasters and high levels and whatever it's called in Smite 2, Obsidian, fucking whatever it's called. The whole point is to weed out the people who can't carry their teammates versus the people that can actually carry their teammates. Sadly, that's how it is. Unless you're trio queuing a lot or duo queuing a lot. But Coach Cav, thanks for the tier 1 sub, dude. Welcome to the Fonzo family. I appreciate that. Thank you. Deity. Yeah, of course. Deity. Duh. The Dirt to Deity series. Thank you, though, Coach. I'm coaching here as well. So yeah.
Your right tower is under
A little cool thing you can do now in Smite 2 with Hun Batz is you can actually TP while you're 2ing. It's kind of cool. These are buff waves for sure. Warhorn waves. Totem and Soul Lane. Oracles are really important on the map. Not just for the vision, but they give you a lot. Like, you guys are about to share this, and you're both going to get... You both got 70 gold from that and a decent amount of XP. It's really nice. Give our UAV. Nice. We see the jungler is in left lane. You should probably, like, if you really want to be optimal here whenever you're playing jungle, it's really good to be communicating with your team. So, like, you pop the UAV there. They should ideally see it, but you could say, be careful left. Enemies incoming left as a VGS. Can help some people out. Maybe help some people survive. Little things like that. The more you do that, just even once in a game, if they survive that gank, it could be the difference maker. You know what I mean? So if you do that consistently and try and communicate with your team, it can be very helpful.
Yes.
Good for you to come over here, knowing that the jungler is here, though, based on the UAV. We do not have a tower, though, sadly, so... We're using all of our... We keep doing this, so this is something you should immediately fix going into your next Hun Batz game, or actually any game where you have multiple CCs, especially if you're against an Afro. We need to stop using our CC on top of each other, because she should be Afro ulting right away, and I'm muting all of it. But even if they don't have an Afro, it's good to just do the damage that you can while they're currently CC'd, and then wait for the next CC. Assuming that they're playing a character that, you know, you're going to be able to chase. It was different when we were ganking Mordred because we need to make sure we kill him before he gets his ult off. Almost always, unless we can block it. Whereas if we're hitting a Medusa, we can chase her. We can jump after her. We can TP after her. There's not really a way for her to get out. So we want to try and do all of our damage while they're CC'd. And then save the second CC for after. But we ended up killing her. Sorry, I keep rewinding and pausing, but I just want to talk about stuff. So yeah, save it, auto him, 3 him, auto him, wait, then 2 him after the after ult. It'd be good. Crazy part is that Hun Batz 2 is literally on such a short cooldown, and he's so broken right now that it's already back up to hit him again. But that's not how it's always going to be. And it's good that we survived. Good job surviving, and we killed the Medusa, so not the end of the world. Good punish. And good awareness for going over there when we knew that the jungler was there with the UAV. Again, coming out of the base, stare at the map. Where do we go? We go left. Everything's up. Nice. Let's clear it all. This is actually huge. We should be able to transition these picks into more. So we got 3 kills now. We're walking out of base. We should be calling gold here. Get this gold on cooldown. Then we're going to have basically an even game. So that's huge. Huge fight for us. They're not going to get out of the ult most of the time as long as you place it in like a relatively decent spot, Mike. Huge gank by you. Nice try. I mean, we forced his blink, but we probably just wanted 2 there. I like kind of keep consistency from what you're doing before. Just guarantee that stun with the 2. If we force his blink with the stun here, that's huge because we don't have to waste our ult cooldown Instead we waste a 6-second cooldown. But ideally, you want to save those long cooldowns for when you can kind of guarantee that there's a kill or you're getting something good from it. So it applies in general, not just Hun Batz. It applies to like Fen or ult. It applies to escapes. Like you don't want to jump onto top of somebody when they still have their jump up because they're just going to jump away. You want to walk up, you want to hit them, you want to use your base abilities, and then if they jump, then you can use your jump to chase them. Basically, kind of matching bar for bar. You know what I mean? We just want to be going gold though. We want to get that bad boy on cooldown while they're dead. They are back alive, so it's going to be a little bit sketchier now. I don't mind you being split from your team here. I think farm is really important in this video game, so. But do definitely want to be walking over there now, so good job. The thing is, the Gold Fury should already have been dead. Everybody was kind of dilly-dallying around. Oh, okay. A little aggressive there, Mike. Your team's still on gold. You want to be staring at the map here, of course, but we're going to be in a 1v2. If Khepri ults you, it's actually not that bad, but he's just so far away, and we would know that if we looked at the map a little bit. Dude, your sensitivity is so high. You're almost like 360ing every Medusa ult. Yeah, they took forever because they also took forever to just even pull it. Same with you though, like maybe you can get them to pull it if you just go over there earlier. Instead of going back mid to defend, maybe you could just get them to pull gold. But I think you actually made the right play to go defend mid, so it's good. They just took a while. But when they're actually on it, again, I know you're trying to help your team out, but I'm telling you guys, if you want to climb ranked more, you definitely have to play your life a little bit more selfishly, especially if you're playing a character that can hard carry the game, and Hun Batz definitely can right now. Also, something I noticed that we haven't done as well, we need to be autoing. We're trying to buy as much DPS as possible in any like a given scenario. When we walk up to this Medusa, we should be autoing straight into our 2 because it's an instant auto cancel, and it will give you an extra 300 damage or 200 damage on every single one of your ganks, every single one of your combos, and it costs you nothing. So instead of just immediately 2ing, walk up auto 2, auto straight into the 2, and then straight into another auto. If you do auto cancel throughout your whole kit, like this guy would be even lower than he already is. This applies to all of Hun Batz's abilities actually, but a lot of characters in the game. It's really good to auto into your ability when you gank somebody. Yeah. Just need to be playing a little bit more selfishly here. Good job by your Baron though. Dude, this Baron's cooking. Level 20. Sadly, he is dead though. Sadly, your whole team is dead.
Your middle tower is under attack.
That is good that you guys got the gold. But all dying for it at 20 minutes in the game, not going to be worth. Looks like they'll be able to get left Phoenix here, and they could even go fire.
Your left Phoenix is under attack.
It depends on how early in the game it is as well. If a few of you die and you guys get gold, and it's like 10 minutes, not that big of a deal. It'll end up evening it out, washing it out when they go steal farm and do farm. I think I died to the Phoenix. But at this point, especially as you get higher and higher ranks, people are going to punish you even harder. They're going to get a Phoenix here. They could get fire. It's going to be easier for them to do fire here if they get the Phoenix. Somehow, they didn't get the Phoenix because the Afro died to it, and then the Medusa died to it, and then they all died to it. It was a clown fiesta, but it's okay. But if they do get the Phoenix there, it's easier for them to get fire because they got the good Phoenix. There's going to be fire waves over here. Somebody's going to have to defend it, you know. So a lot of a snowball effect, but...
Attack the fire giant.
This is a good call by your Baron. You guys should all group them do fire right now. It's your kind of way back into this. Should all be running over to FG. It's even good for you to reinforce the call and be like, yes, attack the fire giant. Maybe somebody didn't hear what Baron was saying. Seems like they didn't hear what Baron was saying. Here's the name. Izanami's also running it down. So she is kind of costing you guys. But again, you are expected to carry players like this to get higher and higher in ranks. And it's you very easily could be doing that right now. Based on some of the things we talked about. But it is definitely at that point in the game where Fire Giant should be getting pulled and should be getting done. If we just work quicker with our like rotation of fire here and maybe like backed up the call, maybe some of our teammates would have also done it and just gone there. But Is here a Discord notification? Is that on the video? No, don't play his aspect ever. Lost Chrome. Don't ever pick his aspect. Until they change it or buff it. Good, I like that how we're farming. We're level 20 at almost, we were level 20 earlier too. But good, we actually had a good pace on the farming game, which is the opposite of the generic that we watched last. So that's a good job by you, Mike. Farming is very important in this game, so that's been huge. Good job on keeping the farm up, even with the dying and the speed buff being taken and stuff. You've done a good job. You know, we're only 5 and 6. Like, it'd be a little bit harder to get our farm in this scenario, but. I'm getting both. I like the patience here. Don't need to panic. Good job. Don't need to panic. Play that actually pretty well. Like I said though, we don't really need to ever blink here. We can use our blink to because they still have Afro ult, remember? So ideally they're just gonna Afro ult this blink ult right away. Now you've used a 240-second cooldown and a 100-second cooldown. So they're pretty far up. You can just walk at them and 3 this Medusa. And you're probably going to accomplish the same thing. You're going to get the Afro ult, and then you can chase with the blink. You can chase with the ult if you need to. But since they are kind of pretty far up and your team is nearby, it's not the worst to just try and catch them off guard right away. But same thing, you know, of course, we want to be trying not to stack our CCs. Try and get our damage off while they're CC'd, wait for the Afro ult. Same old stuff. Same old stuff. Yeah, I'll watch back your VOD. There's a lot to be coached on, Max. Now your Baron got picked. He should have been playing back. He's playing weak side while you guys make a play duo side. Not much you can do there, but maybe you can be like, say, be careful right. Be careful middle. Where did he die? Yeah, you can be like, be careful. I'll gank left lane. Little stuff like that can add up and end up helping people, you know? Maybe a lot, especially people that are really aware of VGS but not aware of the map. And sometimes they're going to ignore it. Nothing you can do there, but you can only control what you control, right?
Your right tower is under attack.
And like I said, as a jungler, you're going to be... It's really important. It can be very important for you to communicate like that. Because you kind of know what's happening and you're dictating the map. You're going left to punish these guys for being so far up. So if you know that you're doing that, be like, okay, be careful middle, I'll gank left lane. Or if you're in comps with somebody, say you're duo queued, you're trio queued, be like, I'm making a play left, you're playing weak side mid, just be careful, stuff like that. In the Baron with the only one using VGS? Yeah, but just because they're not using VGS doesn't mean they aren't listening. It's just a good habit to have. It's just a good habit to be in, to just be doing that. Because, you know what? Funny enough, underrated aspect to VGSing like that a bunch is it helps you practice your keyboard. Getting better at your keyboard, clicking the right buttons. Because there's a bunch of VGS buttons, and if you get better at that, you're going to get better at clicking your buttons. So yeah, you might as well stay in that habit. Look at that little stone of you. That's funny. I like that. There's a nice try on the auto cancels here, but you are very much alone, Michael. Maybe you're aware of that and you just feel like you can't get out. So if that's the case, then that's fair. But definitely based on the spot we're in and where we're looking at the map, if we are looking at the map, which we should be, we're never going to win this.
Your team has destroyed.
You guys do have a 4v4, but your teammates are not grouped. Izanami's pushing right, so they're not going to be able to defend gold here. So this Khepri and Baron, if they go in, it's going to be bad. It's just a numbers disadvantage. You always want to be playing the numbers. Literally always. Baron's just going to die here for walking in if they're aware. And of course they go in. They get Khepri ulted, but now they probably both are dead. Yeah. Just ward. Yeah, that's fair. But this Gold Fury, I mean, wanting to ward the Gold Fury that much at this point in the game is something you shouldn't be worried about. We're at 27 minutes. FG should be the most important thing on the map right now. This Gold Fury is not that big of a deal. So your life for warding gold, not worth. You just want to be grouped with your team at this point in the game, because every team fight that you take, I talked about the other day in some gameplays, and I showed you guys I was macroing, I was shot calling for my team. Literally every single team fight that we grouped first, we won. And every single team fight that we weren't the first ones grouped, we lost. And that's 90% of Smite. 90% of Smite is literally that. So you might as well just get group with the team. Hopefully, if this is Nami, will actually come with you and go towards fire and do stuff together. But it was actually bad for your teammates to go because, again, numbers game. Like, your Izanami's just not there, and your on her was too far away, so it's just a 2v4. Some of this stuff is more like macro-based and not going to help you as much individually, but some of this stuff you can try and communicate in your ranked games to help people out. And a lot of it comes down to just looking at the map more. Yeah, no, the Izanami is definitely running it down. She did get a Phoenix, though, so it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world, to be honest. Yeah, good W positivity. We got a bird, I guess. W Mike. That's what I like to see. If you're going to type positive stuff. Or type information. This person's blink is down. This person's beads is down. I get it. No, it's the Izanami's making it harder. But, again, that doesn't mean you can't carry it. And it doesn't mean the game is unwinnable. Is that every time you do that, every time you just chalk it up to, oh, this person just isn't good enough, is another game that you've lost that you could have won. In every game you decide, you know, this person's maybe not the greatest, but I can carry this game, is another game that you get more SR and you climb the ranked streets.
Be careful. Defend, defend, defend.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a mentality thing too, guys. Like, maybe you're currently, not saying Mike isn't, but like anybody out there, like maybe you currently aren't good enough to carry that player. But just recognizing that you can be good enough and you can improve to a point where you can carry a player like that is enough to keep you going and to help you improve. Because then you're gonna look at, okay, what could I have done better to win this game, to carry this guy? You know what I mean? You're never gonna think that if you just chalk everything up to your teammate being bad. You're literally never gonna be like, oh well, I could have actually done this and I could have carried that horrible teammate, because you've already decided in your mind that you're good enough. It's just your teammates that aren't good enough, which isn't the case. To put it bluntly, you aren't good enough, but you can be. 99% of the people, 99.9% of the people are like they're out there saying that they can't climb rank because their teammates are bad. It's not because their teammates are bad. It's because they just aren't good enough.
Your right tower has been destroyed.
Good ult though. Well played. You see how many Afro ults? Oh, good job by that Fender. Not much you can do there. Maybe we could have blinked out when we heard the Fender ult, if we heard it. It's kind of hard to hear. There's so many audio cues going off and it's quite loud. But we probably could have blinked it, but... yeah, it is Bop Bop. But do you see how many Afro or ults that have been, how many of your Hun Batz ults have been Afro ulted? Bro, what is this audio? It's like bass boosted. It's like that one bug I had. GG, nice try. I like it, Mike. But yeah, that's like probably the 10th Hun Batz ult that's just been Afro ulted. So a little bit unlucky. It's definitely a bit of a counter pick. But yeah. I mean, at this point, it's gonna be a little bit rough. Probably just game based on how the video is over. But yeah, okay, well, Mike, the upsides, the pluses, something you don't necessarily need to work on, you're pretty good at it already, is you're farming really well in the jungle. You're going down the right paths and going towards the ganks that you should be going towards based on where you need to farm. You're not like doing this back camp and then running to duo and then doing red. Like a lot of junglers do that and they get really behind because of that. You're actually ganking in the right path. You didn't get really behind and farm at all, and also counter jungle when you needed to. So that was a good job. Need to be looking at the map more. I'm probably going to say this for everybody in Dirt to Deity, but it's very important. You need to be looking at the map more. You would have gotten a lot of information from that. You need to be playing more selfishly. Worry a little bit less about helping your teammates out or them helping you, and play your life more, and it'll help you in the long run. Literally, if you just start doing that in the next game, you're already going to be doing better. Also, mechanically, we want to be autoing before we use our abilities. It's going to help us in the long run as well. Going to get us extra kills. BGSing and communicating a little bit better for our team as a jungler is very important because you dictate the map, so your teammates need to play around that. And if they don't, that's on them, but you can control what you can control, so let them know the information that you have, what you're doing. I'm ganking left, be careful right. I'm ganking right, be careful left, stuff like that. Looking down, try not to panic in these situations where you're low HP. Just play it, try and be calm. Take little peeksies down at your ability cooldowns. It can help you win some 1v1s like this. And yeah, I repeat it a lot, but try not to stack your CCs on top of each other. And you try and use your abilities and try and use the stuff that's guaranteed. Or try to get damage off while it's guaranteed, and save everything that you need to save until they actually make a mistake or do something like save your jump or when they dash away, so you don't waste your jump, stuff like that. No, but you did play well. I liked how you played this game, but there's definitely things we could have done better to actually full on carry this game. And that's what we got to do. If we're trying to get from dirt to deity, we got to be able to carry games like this. So it's all good. Those are literally 4 or 5 things right now that if you start working on, you'll instantly start winning more games that are like this game right here. Macro wise, it's gonna be hard in some of these lower level games or mid level games where people kind of just do gold and aren't worried as worried about fire, but it's something that you can try to start doing and getting your team to recognize, just to be around fire more in a group earlier in the game, because the team that groups at 20 minutes first is going to win the game almost always, as long as you're doing something with it. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, this goes to the playing more selfishly and kind of looking at the map. Just play our life more. Other than that, is there anything else? Anything else? Maybe, I don't know how high your sensitivity is, Mike, but it might be good to lower it a bit, because it looks like you were overturning some of these Medusa ults, which might mean that you're on a pretty high sensitivity. I think sometimes when you're aiming, it did look a little snappy, so maybe getting used to just a bit of a lower sensitivity could be worth. Yeah, for sure, Mike. Definitely. Yeah, I know you're definitely capable of going 20-0, but this was a good game, definitely, for sure, to learn from. See? Yeah, some of these mechanics, you definitely want to be right on top of people as assassins, so you can get those auto cancels off. It increases your. It's so much extra DPS. It can be the difference maker in every single gank. So definitely want to be trying to get autos off before our abilities and after, because they're instant auto cancels. But yeah, I think that's it. I think if you take some of this stuff and apply it to just even your next game and start working on it, you'll be doing better already, Mike. So good luck. Thank you for submitting this gameplay. Our next gameplay that we do, hopefully, will be a live gameplay that we're watching, and I can talk to you during it. But yeah, good luck. I know you'll climb the ranks already. All right. You guys have any questions? I got people to apply, and then we chose based on who we thought would be good, good potential, good candidates, and yeah. Yeah, but you're not. You can get let me see if I can go back to where you did this. You did it multiple times, but all right, let's watch this real quick. I'll show you. Well, you didn't really do it there, actually. But I'm cool with that. I like 2ing into when you're ganking. But you should just be auto canceling in between everything. So 2 auto, ult auto, 3 auto, and you'll one-shot them. But of course, right there we have they still have Afro ult, so you don't want to use all of that into Afro ult. But in general is what I'm saying. But let me try and find a scenario where what you're talking about. Wasn't here because you 2'd into ult, I remember. Did you do it here? I like how you actually went for the auto cancel there, so that was good. Not there though. Oh, nice, Emily. Did you learn a thing or two? What's this, Shiggy? Sick and doing it. So like right there, definitely applied a little bit. She should just be getting Afro ulted. But if you just stand in front of her, you don't need a 2 because you're losing DPS as well here. It's just such a weird scenario because they have an Afro ult, so it's gonna change everything because she should just be Afro ulting. Like she literally should be Afro ulting like 2 seconds earlier. So then all of your CC is down. So it's more of a niche scenario. But if you just sit here and if you just while she's getting CC'd right now, if you sit there and auto her, 3 her, auto her, it's going to be a ton of damage. Hopefully before the Afro ult comes off. But even if it does, it's okay because then you can 2 her after the Afro ult. But generally speaking, you don't need to keep the Hun Batz ult DPS. You don't need to worry about. That's not something you should care about that much. I like the idea that you're trying to keep her in the Hun Batz ult for the CC, but you're overlapping the CC anyway with your stun. So you're going to end up doing more DPS right now, this split second. Let's say they don't have an Afro ult and she doesn't ult it. Or let's say she has an Afro ult and she just doesn't Afro ult for some reason. You're going to do more DPS than the ult does right now. If you just sit there and you auto her in front of her, you can also stand in front of her, by the way, to body block her from getting out of the ult. So she'll take all the DPS anyway. So that's something you can do mechanically. But also, if you just sit there and auto her, it'll be more damage than guaranteeing a little bit extra damage from your ult. In every single scenario. Does that make sense, Mike? It's just especially bad in this scenario because she should just be Afro ulting it and then your ult and 2 are down. Now, again, Hun Batz 2 is on like a 5-second cooldown right now because it's absolutely busted. So it doesn't matter that much, but it will matter. And it also applies to other characters. Like, let's say you're playing... who's a good example of this? Thor. Thor's a perfect example. If you land on somebody and they have beads, or if they have an Afro ult, or if they have talisman, if you land on them and you ult them, now they're stunned, and you use your full combo, for example, they're going to beads it and they're going to Afro ult it and they're going to walk away. So you want to wait. If you know that they have an Afro ult, if you know they have their beads up, you want to land on them. They're going to waste their beads. You can just spin, you can auto them, and then when their beads runs out, then you can use your wall to chase them after. Instead, if you overlap your CC into CC immunity or damage immunity or anything like that, it's going to drop you kills a lot of the time. So that's why you don't want to do it. It applies to jumps. It applies to CC abilities like that. It applies to a bunch of things. You don't want to use an ability really when you don't need to. You want to get all your DPS off in the meantime, and then use your escapes, use your CC at the best times and the most opportune times, like when their beads or ult goes away. You don't want to waste it. So this was Mike Monkeys.